School District High School football, live on Stream It Sports, Northern Colorado. This broadcast is brought to you by Schrader Oil, fuel your day, by Pedersen Toyota in Fort Collins, everything cars made easy, and by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in Northern Colorado. First Bank, banking for good. And now for the play-by-play, here's David Haase and Randy McCoy.
Welcome to Poudre School District Athletics tonight, live on Stream It Sports from French Field in beautiful Fort Collins, Colorado. It's live varsity boys football action. The Fort Collins Lambkins host the Monarch Coyotes in conference play. Hello, everybody. I'm David Haase, along with my partner Randy McCoy and Brian Roxbury on camera. And a chilly night up here at French Field, Randy, but a conference game nonetheless important to both teams.
Yep, believe it or not, we were in shorts and flip-flops yesterday as we had a unseasonably warm day, and today, winter has struck.
Yeah, what a difference a day makes, and it's coming through really blustery. There's a wind will play in effect tonight. Monarch will be kicking off. Collins receiving out of the south end zone, and the tape on the uprights on both ends are moving pretty well along with the flag in the north end zone, so look for that to be an effort for passing tonight. I got to see Monarch play Windsor last week, so I know it's a capable team, but if Collins gets that offense on track early tonight, which has kind of been their thing, if they get that going early, I look for them to have a good night here at French Field.
And Monarch coming in with a 7-1 record, ranked, I forget, they're definitely in the top 10 in 4A. Fort Collins coming in with a 3-5 record, sophomore quarterback.
Yeah.
Iverson has come in, had a great sophomore season.
Fantastic.
So anyway, here's Mr. David Haase with the play-by-play.
So Lamphere to kick off now for the Coyotes. You can hear that wind blowing in our crowd mic. Ball driven low, taken about the 3-yard line by the Lambkins. Push straight up the middle, looking for a room to cut. Slides around a couple tacklers, but taken down just outside the 25-yard line.
Nobody wants to get that first hit because it's
exactly.
cold out and
when it takes
everybody's a little stiff. Once you get it, you'll be okay because you've got pads on, and once you get your body temperature up, you won't even realize it's cold.
Yeah, the guys on the field tonight are going to be in the best shape of anybody out in the outside in the elements. I see a lot of fans down here still coming in. Kudos to you from across the way. Monarch, you've got about a 30 or 40 count bodies there in the stands, and way to support your Coyotes. First snap now, Iverson, quick bubble pass out to the side. Straight up field, gain of about 5, so good first down play. As we talked about, Fort Collins needs to get out. If they get a lead, Randy, tell you they could take that big offensive line and start to wear on the Coyotes and see if they can just do the ball control thing tonight.
But on the other hand, if you want to talk about ball control offense in the state of Colorado, Monarch is synonymous with that.
Yeah, they do a great job with it over there. There's like you said, their way of keeping that ball in play on their side shortens the game up. Jet sweep, Shore heading upfield, first down yardage near the 41-yard line, or 36-yard line, excuse me. Depends on the mark. So the bubble screen to Shore, and then the jet sweep to Shore. And results in a first down.
Just to remind folks, we haven't seen Fort Collins for about 3 weeks, so they're finally got a home game here. And, early in the year they lost their number one receiver, Jake Leone, and he's been out.
Yeah, and another big blow tonight. We noticed in pregame that Jack Pedersen, a very physical two-way player for the Lambkins, is in street clothes tonight too. We'll see how they adjust. Three-man line rush, another sweep sideways, straight up field. The Lambkins, big hole in front, another first down. So far, the takeoff is working, and Kellen Vogasser there, the junior fullback, big yardage right up the middle.
Well, and the worst thing Monarch can do is take Fort Collins lightly, because Fort Collins has that mojo that any given day.
Oh, yeah.
We've seen them right here on French Field beat the best of teams on any given day. So,
and they've had several losses here just on a short way. Straight up the middle, kind of a high tackle that time.
Nice takedown there.
Yeah, it really was. Remmers. On the outside, yeah. You're looking
number 40 and 33 were.
Yeah, you're looking out there. The Bogus are going down. You're right. Everybody wants to hit somebody right now. You want to get warm because every kid on the sideline now is bouncing around, trying to stay loose. It's a game where it's just tough with that wind to keep your body warm. Under the center again, Iverson is 2nd and 7 now for the Lambkins. Shore motion near side. Iverson rolling out. Nobody on the outside. Just a naked bootleg trying to beat the corner. He does. Head straight downfield. Takes a solid hit. And I'll tell you what. Good effort by the defensive lineman on that far side for the Coyotes, Randy. He took off down the sideline and just kept chasing him. That's Sam Hoswell.
Well, he did. And, he knew he didn't have the speed to catch him, but he ran him into the other guy is what he did.
Exactly. You don't give him a chance to cut back, and that's just a great effort play on his part. Play coming in from the sideline. So 3rd and short now for the Lambkins. Man defense, single safety over the top on this trip to the near side. Bubble screen again. They got numbers when they throw that pass, and it works. Shore again. And Iverson showing really good technique. We've seen him mature over this season already, haven't we?
Yeah, he's going to be really, really sharp. And we've talked about him. Young man's only 15 years old. Does not have a driver's license, I don't believe. And I don't believe he turns 16 until
quite a while.
Next spring.
Well, and having right now, I think with those last, he's near 1,600 yards on the season, which is incredible after 8 games. So a 200-yard-a-game clip and very steady on the offense. Fake again, draw back up the side there. Remmers straight up the middle, plows into the safety. Nice tackle out there in midfield, but right at the sticks again. Offense right now is cruising. And they do get it. So ball now spotted at the 31 of the Coyotes. The big guys up front right now, Randy, are controlling the line of scrimmage. The play calling is diverse, moving the ball around. Twins both sides. Shore motion, right side. He's got the jet sweep again, trying to get the outside. He does. Straight up, Randy.
He's going to go, I believe.
Oh, nice tackle by the safety going down inside the 10-yard line. Shore had that crease, and he accelerated, didn't he?
Yeah, he did. And I think Monarch might be shocked by this offense here again. But it hasn't been. Scoring hasn't been the problem for Fort Collins. It's keeping the other team from scoring.
Yeah, they've got to play both sides of the ball tonight. That's a pretty good offense when Szymanski, the quarterback for Coyotes, gets out here. Wide split here to the near sideline. Single motion coming across. Iverson trapped back underneath the Remmers, looking for room. Slides inside the 10, down to about the 6. Gain of a couple, bring 2nd and goal. Well, I tell you tonight, the parents are braving it, and you could hear the wind. You can see the everything flapping if it's not loose tonight. But kudos to the band and to our cheer squad and the young lady down there, the baton twirler, who's braving the elements in less than what I would be wearing. That's for sure.
Yeah, she's a tough gal.
Yeah, trying to keep her hands warm just so she can.
Anything for the team.
That's right. Fake to the fullback, draw right in the middle. Iverson just follows him, turn around on a quarterback follow play down to the 2, brings up 3rd and short to the goal. I like that play, too, because they haven't had a chance where he had a direct run up the middle and basically turned the fullback into his lead ISO blocker. But Iverson's going to stay warm tonight. He jogs over to get the play every time. There's some ground he's going to cover. Never been a fan of that, but that's their system, and that works for them. Obviously, he's done well for these year.
And there's been many a Fort Collins quarterback that's
there's a line. There's a lineage.
Walk those paths, isn't there?
Yep. Offset I behind him. Give up the middle to Reimers. He's going to run right in the end zone. Touchdown, Lambkins. First on the board. And just a quick little fake. I mean, I tell you, nice misdirection, and just to watch the way Iverson now handles the ball behind the center, Randy. It's not just handing it off. It's, do you get your feet in the position the right way? Do you hide that ball behind your body and not let those linebackers see? You put the ball out, extended it to the sweep back, and then turn around, and Remmers came underneath on the trap play, easy into the end zone. Well done for the Lambkins.
So do you think they fooled Monarch a little bit with all the running that they did?
Well, they going to make a play honest PAT is good because we saw a couple times they had 3 bubble screens out there because Monarch's only playing 2-on-3 with the safety over the top. So they're trying to support on the run. As we just saw one of the Lambton's coaches not only get run over but lose a shoe. But a great start. Great start here tonight for the Lambkins at French Field. Thanks for tuning in to Streaming Sports. Dave Haase along with Randy McCoy, Brian Roxbury on camera. For all you from Monarch that could not make it up here tonight, I-25, even in the best of days and weather, can be trying, especially for a 6 o'clock kickoff. So we appreciate you tuning in to Streaming Sports. Thanks again to our sponsors.
I have to have you turn that heat down just a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
In the booth here. You got it on high,
you're starting to cook, are you?
Starting to perspire.
I wouldn't share that too many places around here. But thanks to our sponsors, Pedersen Toyota, Schrader Oil, and First Bank, helping us bring you these conference tilts. And sometimes it's more fun to sit by your own fireplace and tune in. We'll try to paint as good a picture as we can. So the Lambkins kick off after a nice drive, taking it down to 6:51 left here in the first quarter. They're just methodical, weren't they? They didn't have a negative yardage on one play. Even.
That's best case scenario, isn't it? But again, where they've struggled, they've given up 253 points this year, so they have struggled defensively a lot early. And like I said, we haven't seen them in 3 weeks, so I'm sure they've fixed some of that. And they won a close one and they lost a close one.
Purnell tries to kick it up in the air, and he's going to get it, bounce backwards, and it's going to go out of bounds. Boy, I tell you what, they tried right off the back. They kicked up just the high pooch, and there was a big void down there.
And it came right back to the Collins player, but it went
towards the sideline.
Man.
That would have been a huge break. They had the ball inside the 40-yard line, but since it went out of bounds, it will be either the 35-yard lines or past that. But in this case, it's past that.
But you know what we've seen all year, the 35-yard line is actually pinning them back because there's only a couple of teams that we've seen that have been able to kick it out of the end zone every time.
Fossil and Rocky, the only 2 teams locally that have got the strong-legged kickers, and that is such a difference. So you make do with what you got, and they almost got that one. So bunch formation, flex bone, toss going left side. Pulikani turns it upfield and gains about 4. Get used to seeing that, folks. Boyd Monarch just runs that disciplined double wing with the single fullback right behind the quarterback under center. And they will turn and move that around. Pulikani, and then also number 6, as you saw there, 33, Justin Kiss. See a lot of action tonight.
Boy, Pulikani doesn't have a football body, does he?
Yeah, straight up field again. Runs by a couple people through an arm tackle, close to first down, just short. And one thing I like about Monarch, too, they don't take a lot of time to run around. They get back on the field about as quick as possible.
Well, the best thing that can happen for Fort Collins is to get a lead because these type of teams a lot of times don't have a great passing game and have a hard time. You saw that up in Windsor, didn't you?
Yeah, we did. They got down to Windsor, and it was tough for them to break the ball. And fullback give for the first down, and he leaps the pile. Looks to be more than beyond that. Ethan Plott, number 40. So ball placed right at 50-yard line for 1st and 10. You see it right there on the Poudre School District logo. And right back on the line in that double wing or the flex bone. Toss coming right side. A lot of room to run for the first couple yards. Going to gain about 7. Carried by Stimick, number 2. And you'll so often see tackles tonight. It's not one of those stats guys' nightmares because with a bunch offense where you see the offensive linemen are just about heel to heel, Randy, the defense is all going to be bunched in there too, and tackled by the gang is more often the number. Toss again right way, steps up field, shakes off one tackle, leans forward. I think he crossed the 40-yard line going in. He'll get the first down. We're right at it. We have a Lambkin player down on the field, so we've got a timeout on the field. We'll take 1-2. Lambkin's lead 7-0. You're watching Streaming Sports.
If this is how your bank sees the world, how do they see you? Be an individual at First Bank. Banking for good.
We're back here now. Stimick, the running back for the Coyotes, being helped off there, but on his own power. Good to see. Probably just a tweaked ankle. No, not before he got the first down. Clock starting now. 1st and 10 Coyotes, 40-yard line. Policani left side toss. Weaves his way behind the line there. It's just tough to go over there. Also, you have to shift the entire wall and move through.
Well, and you know, we've seen this offense enough that they lull you, they get 4 and 5, and then all of a sudden, something breaks through because, you have to be so disciplined. You have to be so disciplined to stop this.
Fullback gives, straight up the middle, first down yardage again. So both teams right now clicking on offense. Lampkins need to find a way just to drop the anchor in the middle of that line. I'll tell you, Jack Pedersen being such a big physical presence. Several of the guys will commit up there and be there able with it. You got Craven Claney and along with number 78, 70 out there is Andrew Van Orden too. Toss again left, but we got a flag ahead of time. And I think they got an encroachment we called on the Lampkins. That's a tough break. Take the ball down to the 25-yard line. Some of those other starters out there in the front. Matt Reynolds, number 54. Guys are going to have to really earn their pay tonight, Randy. You got to make play after play. Jonathan Engel, 53. You just basically got to drop your pads down low. I formation, toss, ISO. Saw a lot of that against Windsor, Randy. You basically go up in a power I formation with the extra back and turn around instead of it's a pitch toss, but instead of going wide outside the tackle, the running back takes the look and just follows as an ISO play up the middle where you don't block the linebackers. You let those lead backs take a hit of them. 3rd and 2nd and short, toss the right side. Policani goes forward. Nothing fancy, but boy, I tell you, when you execute it over and over again.
Well, so we talk about it. It's a little bit like Novocaine, isn't it?
Oh, it's a great way to put it. You're right.
It's just the same thing.
It wears on you, too, as an athlete. So 1st and 10, ball on the 19-yard line. And this time we've got another flag. No, we have a timeout called by Monarch before the snap. So the timeout there in the field, they're driving, but trail 7-0. You're watching Stream It Sports.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I became a judge because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach, now judge.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
We're back here, 7-0, Fort Collins ahead. Monarch driving.
Not even attempted to pass yet.
Yeah, and this is the kind of offense that I think at the end of the day, if they win and don't attempt to pass, I think they're okay with that.
Yeah, there's 3:26 left here in the first quarter. And like I say, it's been ball control pretty much between the tackles, some sweeps, but they turn it up. That's a really tight formation. It's tough to get between. You can't make plays between the linemen when they're heel to heel like that. So back in the power I or the Maryland I formation, toss ISO right. Policani goes forward, falls forward for 2 or 3 down near the 16, 15-yard line. So even Randy, when they don't really look like a successful run, if you can't hit the running back behind the line of scrimmage, he's going to get plus yardage, isn't he?
Yeah, and we talk a little bit about sometimes some of these offenses, the running back gets the ball so deep that they got to gain 4 or 5 to get to the line of scrimmage. Not in this offense. When they get it, they're only about a yard or 2 behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah,
that's definitely a knock against the pistol formations. It is slow to develop. Fullback gives straight up the middle. Drags a couple bodies. Straight forward 34.
Great faking there.
Yeah, Jay Sweetie on top of him.
You just saw some of the Collins player still didn't know who had the ball.
Well, and you got to play assignment football. You have to assume your guy coming outside's got it. You can't look inside and cheat, because the one time you do, as you talked about, all of a sudden somebody runs by you and into the end zone. Kalen Monarch up from safety on that tackle, too. If you look at the way the defense, I mean, this is one of those moments where you get such a tight picture. Everybody's in with a narrow area. Pulikani toss left, weaves around a couple players. First down yardage down near the 5-yard line. Neither team, Randy, has had a negative yardage play in their first drive yet.
No, and if you saw there the running back, he's looking for the hole, but he's going forward looking for the hole. You know, you see a lot of guys, they'll be going lateral looking for the hole. Well, he's already 3 yards down the field, and he's still looking for the hole.
Pads and numbers are pointed south, and he's following it. Back to the bunch formation. Szymanski under center. Toss again. Pulikani pushes. Now we're going to get a flag. I would imagine that's going to be the first holding call of the game. Marked it down near the 2. And it's one of those formations, too, where the Szymanski, he turns around, and as he pitches the ball, he gets involved in the blocking scheme. Now, he's not going to get any pancake block awards, but he's getting in the way.
Well, I watched a little bit of your and Cody's broadcast before, and you all talked about that. The quarterback is in on every play after he
not a bystander.
And that's really part of the offense, too, isn't it? Because really the quarterback position in this offense is not one of, who's the best thrower in a sense.
Yeah. Well, then this will bring that up to a question then, though. Now the ball's brought back out to the 17 after the spot foul. 1st and goal to go. And do you throw the ball well or not? Toss right. Pulikani's trying to get to the side. He's got the edge. Nice job on closing it down. Boweedy in the left corner for the Lampkins did a nice job, too, of just getting outside, not letting him go. Alam Bashara, the junior, he did a good job of not letting the running back take outside leverage on his shoulder pads, turn him in where he had all the help, and still gained 5 or 6, but no more than that.
And the way Monarch completes most of their passes is by the element of surprise. So,
fullback straight up the middle. He had to jump over the pile that time, and I'll tell you what, that's because the big fellows up front for the Lampkins got lower than the pad level of Monarch. Now look at Monarch go right back up on the ball, and no chance for too much thinking. They don't allow the Lampkins to do any substituting. 3rd and goal, though, from the 8-yard line. Big play here for the Lampkins. They could force a field goal. Fake. Szymanski rolls out. Nobody to the outside. Will he get caught? Yes, he does. Oh, and is almost picked off. But is it caught? It is. It's caught. It's a pickoff in the end zone by the Lampkins. It should have been tossed once. The second guy got through in the end zone.
4 people had an opportunity to catch that ball, 2 from each team.
Yeah. And credit the Lampkin to the outside there that put the pressure on. I can't if that was either Engel or who it was, the right defensive end put the pressure on Szymanski. He not a chance to even turn his shoulders towards the line of scrimmage. Had to throw a little off balance, back across his body, and the errant throw picked up. Big break, great play by the Lampkins defense. They're back on business now in the 20-yard line.
It was kind of anybody's guess where that ball was going.
Yeah. Iverson downfield's got a man in the slot. Right behind him, though. Just a little bit of a
You got to complete that, though, because they've set up that play by what they did the whole first drive.
You're exactly right. He had him wide open. Looks like the timing was just a little off because the receiver couldn't have drifted much further wide. He would have been near the other cornerback, and he was in that spot. Sometimes you got to stop. You get to that void there. You don't want to flood an area with too many receivers. So 2nd and 10 after incompletion. Jet sweep, left side, still upfield, 1 man to go.
Nice cut.
Oh yeah, nice cut and a good tackle. Gain about 8 or 9, and the trip saving a much bigger play by Ben Fuchs, number 43, the senior linebacker for the Coyotes, because otherwise he had a ways to go, didn't he?
Yeah, and the key to this game is going to be 3rd downs. If they can get Monarch to have 3rd and long, Fort Collins got a great opportunity to win this game, and same way with Fort Collins, if they can have 3rd and shorts.
Flipping it around. Fullback give, Vogus are up the middle, scrambling through. They're out past the 40, picked up about 12.
That's going to be it for the first quarter. So our score 7-0. Fort Collins over Monarch here at French Field on a windy, cold night. You're watching Stream of Sports.
This life, it isn't for everyone. It's not for the modest, the cautious, the faint of heart. It's for the dauntless, the determined. This life, it isn't just a craft or another career. It's a calling.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2017 Toyota Tundra, or get $1,750 cash back.
Toyota, let's go places.
So we're back here. Randy McCoy, David Haase here with you on a windy,
Yeah, we're talking
cool
about that
Thursday night.
Really picking it up out there. If you came here without a hood or some headgear, you made a mistake.
But you see Coach Rice down there, the far right, Mr. Roxbury. You can see he's got his traditional shorts on, and he does not have his tank top on. Oh, I'm sure there's one on underneath that.
He's got at least one layer there.
Yeah, there's Coach Rice right there. And
if he's one of those guys that won't sit still anyway, so I don't think his legs are cold.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Man's got a style, and he sticks with it. That's what we all develop. So 1st and 10, Lampkins now. Iverson under center, twins both sides of the field. Motion here to the near side. It just telegraphed that a little too much because as the defensive end stepped across the line of scrimmage and Iverson really picked the ball up in the air and was already looking.
And good job by Monarch. They've already seen that about 3 times now.
Well, and Trey Storm, a very active defensive end, has 6 sacks on the season already for the Coyotes. And that just shows his athleticism there. He checked up his rush, didn't he? Got his hands up. And every coach teaches the D linemen and the linebackers, if you're rushing the passer, if you're not going to get there, get your hands up. Make it a tougher play. So 2nd and 10 now for the Lampkins. Fake to give. Remmers delayed on the left side. Picks his way through for just a couple.
Talked a little bit about this. We talked to Coach Rice early in the year, and this is the first year that he's kind of kept his hands out of the offense and has kind of allowed the offensive coordinators to run the show.
Well, they've had, like you said, they've had a very good productive year offensively. Even with despite losing Leone early in the year as they did, what an offensive weapon he has been for the Lampkins. So 3rd and 5. Iverson rolling out, trying to find room. He's got a man open. Hits him in the slot. Goes forward. Abiaseged turns it upfield for a gain of about 15.
We haven't mentioned his name yet tonight. He's a dynamic player.
Well, and what he did that time, what didn't work on before the quarter, we turned the ball. He sat in the spot and let his quarterback find him, gave him a stationary target, and Iverson delivered a strike. I tell you, the sophomore, very impressive year, and he keeps delivering, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's, as we said, he'll look better in Game 8 than he did in Game 2, and he is.
1st and 10 now, fake. Delay on Remmers, bounce to the outside, trying to find his way through. Got the open space, spins around a couple tackles. 1st down yardage and a couple.
Monarch missed some tackles there.
Yeah, they really did. And what credit Remmers, though, too, is he got the ball. He hesitated just for a second, let the blocks develop, then he just showed his burst and got through the edge to the outside. And the clock is running again. I tell you what, don't go get popcorn. We're going to be done quickly at this kind of a pace. 10:35 left here, early in the 2nd quarter. Clock running. Fake Iverson again, rolls out right, looks back. He's got a man on the backside. He can't see him, though. The motion man, and that's drawn up that way. And I guarantee just to our left down here, way the Collins coaches are saying Joe McGuire had nobody within 25 yards of him. And because it's a different kind of a play. He fakes the jet sweep going to the far side and then follows the running back Remmers, who becomes his lead blocker as he rolls out here to the near side or right side. But that'll be one of those we're going to stop and throw back. Well,
and they'll run that in the 3rd quarter again.
Let him sit on it for a while, you betcha.
But the defensive coordinators saw that too.
Yeah. Well, he's still got to do it. Blitz coming. Vogelser steps up the middle, just dragging bodies. Slowing the whistle down there, letting the scrum go a little longer, aren't they?
We've seen that all year on some of those.
So Vegas takes him down. The gain of about 8.
Far be it for us to say anything, though, about that.
Well, Pietraszki and some of the other big fellas coming out of there for the Lampkins, along with Jonathan Engel there, as the place kind of slowed and the pile was there, they just get a good chance to come up and put their shoulders down and push through it. And trouble is for Vogesser, it's his backside that's going to get hit. He's trying to take Monarch the other way, and all of a sudden his teammates are pushing him. 3rd and 4.
Boy, almost offsides there.
Give Remmers left side. Cuts upfield, first down yardage again.
I'll tell you what, this has been masterful as far as the play calling the first 2 series for Fort Collins Lambkins.
And really want to credit the guys up front between the tackles here for the Lambkins. I mean, they got a lot of two-way players, but they are really doing a nice job right now pushing their way. I mean, just assignment football. And you get led by your bell cow right up front, and I want to make sure that's Pietraszki, 66 at the center. Sweep right side's got the edge, a couple blocks downfield.
Nice tackle.
That's a really nice tackle. You're exactly right.
34.
Steps up there for the Coyotes and closes down that edge. Not only closes it down, but Alex Matsumoto, solid tackle in the perimeter, just a gain of 2.
It looked like a lot of things could have happened, but it didn't.
Well, and once again, credit number 65 for the Coyotes. The defensive end, we talked about him earlier, chasing down Sam Hoswell, chasing down Iverson. He really strung the play out, didn't give him a chance to turn upfield. McGuire motion again, fake. Iverson follows the fullback straight up the line. Gets it down inside near the 5-yard line. Just trying to catch those linebackers widening out and see if he gets a seam. Big play here. They can get a first down, Randy, inside the 2-yard line, just close to the 1-yard line. So it's a thought. You'd love to have a 14-0 lead, wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely against this team. And we saw with the only pass, and not saying that's the extent of their passing game, but it was less than confident at that point.
Well, the Lampkins have already had the ball 4 minutes of this quarter, under 8 to play in the half. McGuire motion top side of your screen. Fake it. Iverson rolls out with him, trying to find somebody. Nice job holding it in. I want to get a face mask call.
Something was held there.
And Storm 44 beat him to the outside. Showed his athleticism. He had Iverson corralled in, but I think he tackled high. Although the officials throw for the flag wasn't at the quarterback or near the tackle area, unless the wind took it.
It was kind of late too.
Yeah, he's calling it. So a big penalty here. Not only is it halfway to the goal, but it's on automatic first down. Even more importantly, frankly, than the yardage. We have another flag on the far side by the head linesman. Mark it off.
He called it so quick we didn't see it.
Yeah, he really did get that one going, because I noticed the linesman with his flag out over there too. So basically replaying the play, because they're still showing 3rd down. Now we're going to wind the clock. I was waiting for the referee.
Both of them were against Monarch, I thought.
Yeah. Toss left side. Shea Wynn going to the edge, cuts up the field, and is going to score. But I think it's coming back. We're going to see a holding call on the outside. Yeah, Wynn just a sprint toss, and it is going to be against the Lampkins. So big penalty, because it's going to take them back well outside the 10-yard line. So just like Monarch in the same end zone, Randy, a few minutes ago, got down inside the 5 and had the holding call.
Am I seeing things out there? Do I see a number 25 out there on the left side?
For the Lampkins?
For the Lampkins. There's Jake Leone is out there. Number 25. Look right there.
Well, that would be one of the...
See?
That is really something.
Either somebody took his number or... So maybe it was a strain, and maybe no, that's 25.
Yeah, no, that's right. He's playing tight end. So if that's correct, that is wonderful. Iverson rolls out right, fires to the end zone, got his man, touchdown. Boy, the sophomore turned around there.
Wow.
That's how you do it, Randy. Rolled and got his shoulders going forward towards the line of scrimmage so he could put something into the ball, and found his men setting in the end zone and hit Abiasega right between the 1 and the 0. Touchdown, Lampkins.
If you want to see the growth of a quarterback in high school, go back and watch these games in Fort Collins. Go back tonight after this game and watch game 1 or 2 and watch down. I'll tell you what, he has been the captain of this offense going up and down this.
Very efficient tonight. Very good, very nice game. Because like I say, that technique there is on a roll that you want to do. It's so easy to see quarterbacks just roll, especially young ones as a sophomore. PAT coming now for the Lampkins. Chance for a 14-0 lead, driven into the end zone, and it is up and good.
Fascinating story about the young man, too, about his life and stuff, so maybe we can get into that at some point. But
What a great start here for the Lampkins tonight, leading Monarch with 7:21 left in the half, 14-0. And they were able, that's the difference in the offenses too, Randy, because you see Monarch down there, predominantly a running team, only throwing if they basically have to. Only 2 touchdown passes on the season. And the same inside the 5-yard line. Both of them get a holding penalty, moves them back outside the 10. But Lampkins with the difference, they've got the quarterback who'll run and throw accurately.
And Abby, who's been a force this year as well, has made some of the best catches we've seen all year.
So Lampkins will kick off.
Got a bona fide upset in the making here because
you really do.
record-wise, this is not supposed to be like this.
And nobody told the Lampkins. So Lampkins line up, and I think Monarch's paying a little bit more attention this time after that last kick. Still in their bunch formation, back deep for the Coyotes. Coatney, number 21, along with number 34, Matsumoto.
The Lampkins all but had the last one. I mean, if it doesn't bounce to the right, if it bounces straight back,
anywhere else, yes. And it is an onside kick, and this was actually going to be worse because it didn't go 6 yards. So this will give Monarch the ball at the Lampkins 45-yard line, and that's the part of the issue, trying to execute.
But what I don't like about that is you've got a 14-point lead, and you would like to see Monarch have to go the length of the field.
Yeah, they had no problem moving it for the 55 yards last time because they started about the 40.
Well, we saw this last week with Lakewood. Half the time, they only had to go half the field.
Yeah, field position starting near exactly right. Bunch formation, toss right, moving upfield. Nice job of stacking the play up that time. The Lampkins are starting to show they're stiffening on defense up front. The push isn't there as it was before, and that time on the carry, Stimick, number 2, he only gained just about a yard and a half or 2 yards.
Don't you have to make Monarch pass to beat you in this case? I mean,
you'd really like to, but right now, like I said, they haven't stopped Fort Collins. They get down 21-0. It's game over. Stimick, though, this time outside right side, got room near first down yardage and gets the sticks. And they're not going to change their game plan. I mean, it's still first half, and they got plenty of time. We've already seen, twice this year, Fort Collins has gotten up early and, failed to keep the lead. They're up 21-0 over in Greeley and lost the game to Central, and they were up 14-0 here after a kickoff return and a punt return, and couldn't hold it against Loveland. Although I think Loveland's one of those anomalies. Now there's a big stop. If you keep an offense like Monarch at 2nd and 7 or better, that's definitely working in your favor.
Talk about a team that gets no respect. It's the Loveland Indians, still undefeated, and in the lower part of the top 10. So
I'm pretty sure they're going to get heard from.
I think they're on the wrong side of
Highway
119.
And nice job of coming upfield again, making tackles there.
It's kind of a divide down there at Highway 119, isn't there? With
you kind of think
the
so.
state.
Yep. Stephen Brewer-Bauman, number 98, getting to the legs of the running back. So 3rd and 7 now. Monarch shifting the I formation, fake to actually Policani goes back from the wing and then goes back down, sits down. Schmansky changing the play. Clock still running, 5:36 left. Goes back to throw, middle field's got a man up on the right side, straight down the middle, and it's going to be incomplete.
Wow, right there, both of them.
Well, and early, the safety cut across him, number 97 for the Coyotes. The much bigger player there. That's Ben Cole, the tight end.
Now you know where their passing game is.
Yeah, and he had the defensive back, McCaylin Moore, pretty much screened away from the ball. Moore did a nice job of jumping up, and I think basically distracted him or got enough of the ball because that ball was floating in the air into that wind coming out of the north end zone, wasn't it?
Yeah, and Monarch's kind of in no man's land, and Coach Rice is going to say, hey, guys, let's don't nonchalant this down. This is a huge down
exactly
in this game. So let's keep it here on this one. Talk a little bit about we got the volleyball playoffs coming up.
Big time.
We got 3 champions of the Front Range League, all Fort Collins teams. Rocky, Fossil, and
Fort
Collins all tied
Fort
for
Collins,
the
Lampkins girls. Great job. I mean,
never seen that.
They started off the year as the kind of the unknown a little bit here locally and statewide. They won the league, and all 3 teams ranked in the top 10 for most of the year. Great year. Fossil Ridge defending champion, and
they're on a roll that's pretty scary at this point, isn't it?
Well, actually, they ended up, I think they were 3rd in the city. Pooter, we saw Pooter. They had a good team. The trouble is you're playing against the buzzsaw of 3 other teams locally.
Yeah, no, it's right. Rocky, I think no one knew what to expect from Rocky, and they've had a tremendous year. Fort Collins, I think they were supposed to be good next year,
Yeah.
So
snuck up.
Great coaching job.
So a 4th down play coming out after the play call. Timeout was taken by Lampkins. Now timeout's going to be taken by the Coyotes. So we will be back. You're watching Stream It Sports.
Wayne, everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, no fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
You're watching PSD High School Sports live in high definition on Stream It Sports NoCo.
There you go. We're back here live. We just noticed a young fan down here below wearing an old Fort Collins High School helmet. Inspiration in the stands, and I'll tell you what, that's not the warmest thing to wear when you're sitting still. So big 4th down play here for the Lampkin defense. If they can stop the Coyotes. Fumble on the play, though. Szymanski puts it down on the ground. Nowhere to go. Fatal error, and the Lampkins swallow him up. Turnover on downs.
I'm not sure they were going to get much out of that anyway because it was slow. The quarterback was, whether he dropped or not, he was about ready to be touched.
Yeah,
one way or another.
Yeah, he needed to get out of it. He was in harm's way already, wasn't he?
Well, he just went straight down the line. He didn't really go back any, and the defensive line had really pushed the offensive line right into him.
Well, physically right now, I'd say Fort Collins is more than holding their own. 1st and 10 now, ball 33-yard line. Bremmer's give on the delay, cuts up field, finds a couple blockers, drives forward, squirts out 1 tackle, gains about 3. A lot of work, but keeps it going. Clock is running, too. We're down to 5:15, be under 5 minutes to play. So a quick half as you would expect, but right now, certainly in the Lampkins' way, they'd love to have this game just keep running, wouldn't they?
Yeah, they would. And Fort Collins runners aren't big, and they're not necessarily fast, but, boy, they are
smart.
They are
tough.
Smart runners.
2nd and 6 now.
And they got more than one of them, so you can't really key.
Yeah. Shore on the jet sweep goes around the outside, cuts through. Saw his angle and took off for it.
Fort Collins has always been known to run that. Probably more than any team we see is the jet sweep.
Justin Powers, number 30 for the Coyotes, taking him down as he cuts, but brings up 3rd and a fairly manageable 4.
So Leone, we will have to confirm this, but I mean that's him.
Yeah.
He's down there playing tight end or tackle or something, and he's just blocking.
He's playing eligible
but
receiver,
now he's going out.
Yeah, he's here in the near sideline. That's what a great story. We'll pick up on it here,
and we'll make sure it's him. But I can't imagine why anybody else would be wearing his number.
Fake. Reimers gets up the middle, nowhere to go. Nice job by the Coyotes defense. Everybody stayed home that time. Nobody bit.
It might be the first questionable play call of the game.
Yeah, that kind of got there. Hoswell there again, number 65, is having a whale of a first half. Very active. So it's going to force the first punt by the Lampkins. Actually, the first punt of the night.
Yeah, but do you really?
Do you trust it?
Yeah, that's 4 yards.
Way too many.
I
to
mean,
ignore.
we've seen Coach Rice onside kick with, so.
Who knows?
Actually, this would be
stay tuned.
Kind of the place that you would do it, maybe.
Yeah, he's going to try it. Nope. Nice job of running forward, getting the rugby-style kickoff up in the air. Fair catch called at the 23-yard line. And a nice job by the receiver for the Coyotes down there by himself just to bring it in. Brendan Christensen. I want to say something about that. Christensen last week against Windsor, several balls in the first quarter. They just, Mansky to Christensen was, throw it high, let the 6'4" receiver just go up and get it. They haven't tried it once yet. I mean, I'm sure they've scouted it, they knew it was coming, but when you're that tall, you definitely has a huge height advantage on any defensive back out there, and they've not even tried it once. So, Christian, to top of your screen, so they've broken the flex bone wide out the right side. Delayed toss to running back, and we've got a flag on the far side by the linesman, but
it's got to be holding, doesn't it?
I'll tell you, I mean, right now, though, you're starting to see the big fellas up front for the it's going to be going against Monarch. I think they're going to get a procedure. I wonder if they want to just decline that one or move him back. I think they're going to move him back. Coach Rice, I agree with that, because right now his big guys up front, his 52, his 4 or 5 down linemen and those linebackers, that front 7, they're doing a nice job against the Monarch offensive line right now. They've had a chance to, I think, start to get used to the flow of that offense, and the assignment football is there. They're not giving up any big plays. So that'll bring up 1st and 15. Monarch needs to get out to the 34-yard line. That'll be their yard to gain. They stay in the bunch formation. Toss coming into the left side. Running back hits it upside. He's got the edge, turning forward. Gets strung out of bounds, and that was just silly. You don't need to do that. You're both out of bounds by quite a ways, and the Lambkin defender decided to throw him to the ground and by the shoulder pads, and you just can't.
And all the officials
everybody agreed, didn't they?
Wanted to throw their flag, too.
Well, they're trying to warm up.
Yeah, for the second half here.
Yeah, that was, boy, talk about getting out of jail. Not only had a big run there for yardage, but then you add 15 to the middle of that. Now we're going to get the ball out near midfield. That just about flips the field completely. Ball's going to come out to the 48-yard line. And what the difference is there between throwing somebody down out of bounds, if you're going down also, Randy, that's one thing. If you can take him down with you, but you just tossed him down after your second step out of bounds, you will always get that called against you. Give straight up the middle. Fullback goes along. Not sure if we had an injury there a little bit earlier, because right now, I mean, I'm going to single his young man out, Randy, because he's Logan McClung, number 60 out there playing guard. I mean, he's a junior, but he's really undersized for that position right now, so obviously it's a lot of heart. So he's running around there, but he's just size-wise not going to match up as well. And just to prove that, he gets out and pulls and leads a nice block there, and Stimmick goes for about 12.
Well, I played guard a couple of years, and I was not your prototypical
he's
guard. And
he's
there's some things you can do, and
he's
one
not
of them
real
is
tall.
quickness.
He's not real wide. So
one of them is quickness.
Yeah, if you get into somebody's numbers right away, toss coming left side again here. Pull kind of cuts back wide side, stumbles, tripped up, and just short of first down yardage. But boy, he saw a lot of daylight, didn't he?
He did, and
just as I say, the Lambkins are kind of starting to hold their own up front. Here comes Monarch again, proving why they've had that start they did to the season. I mean, if they don't do it now, they're going to go into the locker room with minute 52 left, trailing 14-0.
Yeah, and right now the clock is the Lambkins' friend.
Fullback gives straight up the middle, pop to the outside, goes right by everybody. I mean, it's just nice fake, and easily down the first yardage, down to about the 21-yard line. Well, they got to feel like, they kind of done it to themselves. They got it down to the 5 the last time, and then they threw the pick. And they're trying to figure out how they get one in the end zone before half. Toss. Pulikani left side, tries to get inside. Nice job. Tackle from behind the line of scrimmage.
Well, you got to be in shape to work, play for them, don't you?
Yeah, Jay Sweetie. Nice scrape off there. That's the linebacker just knowing the flow of the play. Scrapes off the outside of that tackle, gets up underneath those blockers and secures him. No gain on the play. Toss right side. Szymanski out front blocking. Nobody touched him. He's gained 5 or 6. I mean, Szymanski, the quarterback, Randy, was downfield trying to find somebody to hit.
That's called a pulling quarterback.
So timeout's going to be taken by Monarch here, trying to stop the clock with 1:02 left in the first half. The trailing is 14-0. We'll be back. You're watching Stream It Sports.
There comes a time in every athlete's life when their participation in sports is coming to an end, and so officiating is a way to stay involved.
The day I started officiating is just as fun as now.
When I'm officiating, making decisions, a decision that's instantaneous, for me there's no greater feeling.
I became an official because I wanted to give back.
Get off the couch and get into the game.
Become an official.
We're back here now, and it looks like the Fort Collins
Purple Regiment?
Purple Regiment's going to perform here at half, so we'll make sure we show that to you. Those young people practice maybe just as hard as the football team.
The time and the hours, they're like the athletes. They can't, they can't do this before the game. They got to either go well before school. A lot of times it's 6:30 in the morning. So big play here for the Lampkin defense. 3rd and about a long 2 for the Coyotes in their power I formation. The toss ISO play. Pulikani straight up the middle, first down yardage and some. Goes to the end zone, Randy, and scores. No flags on the play, and he was downfield before he got caught. Nice call by Coach Bravo and his staff across the way.
Well, he's that new type of running back now that's small, and they're hard to see behind the line at times, and by the time they pop out, it's too late.
Yeah, and he did a great job of running the daylight, making the cut back, and he headed up right towards the end zone, found the grass.
And so, he's really had a good first half rushing the ball.
Lamphere kick is up, and that wind, you can tell, kind of stuffed that one back, but it's good. So 14-7 with 54 seconds left. Good news here in the Lampkins, you're going to have a chance for several plays downfield with a good return. Monarch will be kicking into that wind. But nice drive and an answer finally for the Coyotes, showing they can get it in the end zone.
So I want to apologize. We did not do our homework well enough, and it looks like Jake, he's been in 4 games and is actually having a decent year, so he must have been able to come back.
Well, and that shows you how long we haven't seen him. They haven't been here since then. Haven't been here since then, so that's just great to see. Especially when you look at the type of injuries a senior, what a valuable player he was coming into the year. Go up and look up stats that, and just as a way of saying, okay, how are people making plays? But boy, you've got to want to really play after what was assumed to be a season-ending injury.
Well, I think it might have been a hyperextension, which
rather than
at the time it feels. It's hard to tell the difference, obviously, but.
Yeah, because an early start there, but still with 27 receptions, but none, so I don't think he's even been targeted tonight. So Monarch kicking off. Lamphere drives it low, going to be about a 1-hopper. Actually takes a second bounce, picked up at the 7-yard line. Kalen Moore straight up field now. Straight up field near the 35-yard line. So good return, good field position for the Lampkins to start off with 47 seconds. You want to stretch that field at least once here, don't you?
Yeah, and that's how you run back a kick, isn't it? You pick a hole and you go. And I tell you what, he was like a rocket going through there, wasn't he?
Completely sell out and do it. That's the only way kick returners can.
And if somebody on that particular run where he got hit, if they miss that, he's gone.
Yeah, you make one cut and you go to daylight. So Lampkin's back in the pistol formation. Not much of that tonight. Mostly under center for Iverson. Gives straight up the field to Remmers. He bounced the outside, takes it down past first down yardage. And I would see, it's time to think about a timeout now. You got 2 left if you're the Lampkins. Ball's going to be at midfield. Depends how fast you can get that offense set up. They're going to give them the first down. And the chain gang a little slow to move there. They had to move along, giving the Lampkins that extra second to set up. Clock running now, 37 seconds to play. Actually, it hasn't started running. The referee is reminding. Okay, there we go. Iverson, low snap, picks it up, knocked down again. Storm. Tell you, he is a force on that far right side, the right defensive end for Coyotes. That's his second deflected pass. But the thing it does, Randy, it stops the clock.
Yes, it does. And, they haven't really thrown a deep ball to Abbey. And he's really has had no trouble getting by just about everybody we've seen.
Yeah, well, you got Leone coming down here on the near sideline, Shore inside him, Abbey, and I believe McCann Moore on the top side, or maybe Wind. Straight back blitz coming, bubble screen call by Shore. Great call, nice timing. Shore upfield, runs through the middle, gains first down yardage inside the 40-yard line. They need to get up on the line of scrimmage and either spike it or call timeout. They're not going to call timeout, obviously.
Not sure what they're keeping them for.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, well, they do spike it. So you use the down up rather than call one of the 2 timeouts you had. I mean, there's 22 seconds left. I don't know how many times you think you're going to use them. So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball on the 38-yard line.
That's a perfect call for that defense. And, I mean, it was if he could have cut to the outside one way or another, he might have had 6, actually. He kind of ran right into the crowd.
You're coached to take that thing straight north and south, and he really did. I mean, he gained 15, but, boy, there was a middle there.
There was more to get, it looked like.
Yeah, Monarch backing off linebackers and DBs that toss the depth. Reverse coming here to Shore, pass it back to, got a man in the end zone. He's got actually Leone down here at the 15. Turns around, takes it inside the 5-yard line. So the double reverse pass. He had one man deep in the end zone, but not enough time to get it to him. But Leone was the late receiver flooding this near side. And Iverson found him for a gain of about 25 or 30 yards.
That was a big boy play, wasn't it?
Yeah, well, and it's the design of the play that they did so well, because Leone was the latest option coming down there. Now the timeout's going to be taken, but they took their time to get him down there and let that deep receiver. The deep receiver's going to be wide open, or he's going to be taking the other DBs with him. And he did.
Opened up a space for Leone.
Oh, a huge one.
And, you forget how good he is, man. He looked like a Saturday player for sure in the way he brought that ball into his body.
Secured and took it in with the hands and turned around. Ball spotted at the 9-yard line. 1st and 10 Lampkins. The trouble is, though, they say that 7 seconds they had called that ran on them prior. So they're going to have 1, maybe 2 shots. It's hard to get a playoff in less than 6 seconds. Especially, I mean, you're not right in the goal line. It's going to have to be turn and throw. You got 1 left to stop the clock if the referee stops the clock in time for you.
So do you try to get a quick slant, which is kind of the popular?
Well, that's the quickest way to do it. But right now, though, they're coming on a double tied in with a Remmers at your slot back. Going to be a rollout right side. He's got to find somebody to throw to or get out of bounds. Cuts upfield, goes to the goal line. Ball's on the ground. I think Iverson got it back, but they're going to call timeout right away. That's a really, we only got 3 seconds left. Now you got to kick it. The rollout is about one of the slowest developing plays you can call on offense. And he turned upfield. He saw he had a gap, but he got stuffed backwards and coughed it up. But thankfully for the Lampkins, it was covered, and they got a chance to at least get 3. Which is still a successful drive.
And Iverson is a tremendous quarterback for sophomore, but one thing he is not is he's not necessarily quick of foot right now.
Yeah, well, and it's one of those decision-making things. They want him to run first and sometimes and throw first most of the time.
Well, they were on the short side of the field, too, so there wasn't a lot of room over there to get open for anybody. They really gave Monarch a break by running it over there.
Squeezed it in. So Iverson will be the holder. Ball's going to be spotted
at the
11-yard line.
Coach Bravo's played Coach Rice enough times to say, you know what, guys? This does not mean they're going to kick this.
So a good snap, nice hold, brought it back over, hooks it back in between the uprights, and it's good.
What a beautiful drive again.
And as time expired, the Lambkins get the 3. So successful drive starting about midfield after the 35-yard return by Aseged. Take it down and get 3 points. They lead at halftime, 17-7. You're watching Stream Sports.
This life, it isn't for everyone. It's not for the modest, the cautious, the faint of heart. It's for the dauntless, the determined. This life, it isn't just a craft or another career. It's a calling.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2017 Toyota Tundra, or get $1,750 cash back.
Toyota, let's go places.
Great news! We broke our all-time sales record, and it's all thanks to my nephew, Skylar.
Bro, it's Sky.
After my brother made me hire Sky, I switched us to First Bank to make up for him. Now business is better than ever.
No matter the reason, switching to First Bank can help your business grow.
After playing the game for many years, and I decided I could either watch from the couch or get on the field and become part of the game.
I became a judge because it was a natural transition from being a gymnast to coach, now judge.
I love the large crowds, the excitement of the game, and you know what? I got the best seat in the house.
Help these kids. Help this community. Become an official.
Wayne?
So we're going to have the Fort Collins Purple Regiment Band, so enjoy, folks. Try to get the volume up as best we can with the wind blowing.
band would like to honor its 19 senior members. These young men and women have put in many long hours, have led by example, and will be greatly missed by the band. Thanks for all you've done, seniors. I will read your name and Mr. Ector will present them with flowers. First of all, Zoe Boyarsky. Miranda Coldren.
It's incredible.
Lucas Collins. Michael Collum. Chloe Ellison. Allison Heckman. William Who.
Who?
Gabrielle Langesgaard. Cassie Lyons. Rachel Marchant. Samantha Mixer. Eli Oceanic. Pablo Pinero. Jessica Romero. Kate Thorogood. Ryan Toomey. Mary Underwood. Daniel Venfaro. And lastly, Ashley Joe.
There you have the Fort Collins Purple Regiment Band tonight, introducing the seniors, and that's kind of their theme song, Louie Louie. So we'll be back in just a moment after a word from our sponsors. You're watching Stream It Sports.
Welcome back to halftime. Finishing up the halftime performance and honoring the seniors of the Purple Regiment Band. They get to go off to Louie Louie, as we have often seen. It's their kind of trademark song. David Haase here. I'm joined by Miles Blumhart from the Coloradoan, reporting here tonight. And Miles, a brisk but a very fast first half.
Yeah, very first. Monarch just likes to get up to the line and run the ball right, run the ball left, run the ball up the middle. I'll tell you what, I give Collins a lot of credit. They come into this game and they have no business being in it, right? What do they have to play for? Monarch, number 2 RPI, and Fort Collins is giving them all they want.
Well, and we noticed there in the second quarter, you talk about that Lampkin defense did a really good job of just starting to get the pad level down. The big plays, those 5 and 6 yard gashes that Monarch got in their first drive certainly went away, and they stilled them up, holding to a 17-7 lead at halftime. As you say, nobody would have thought that was going to happen, but credit to the way they're playing the ball, running the ball well. But we talked about Iverson, the quarterback, the sophomore, already having a tremendous year, over 1,500 yards throwing in 8 games for right out of the box as a sophomore. Pretty impressive.
Yeah, you know what? He looks good, and I'll tell you what, I give the Lampkins defense a lot of credit because coming into this game, they have struggled this season. The Lampkins have been up, several times this year, big, only to lose it. And tonight, boy, I tell you what, they're playing with a lot of fire, and their defense has just been really impressive to me so far.
Well, and they're doing without Jack Pedersen, one of their captains, one of the most physical players both ways line. So yeah, sometimes you just go with what you got, and they're playing and they're showing it. Let's kind of bounce around the rest of the city here too this week. We know tomorrow night we've got Rocky Mountain here at French Field, and another team that they've had some bad luck at injury at quarterback. Play a couple games without their first two quarterbacks, which at a high school, public school level, anybody not named Valor Christian, that's pretty hard to do.
Yeah, that's tough. But, the one thing about Mark Brook and Rocky Mountain is they're always going to play hard. They don't have a lot of, a great amount of talent this year, but they just keep battling and they keep fighting, and I think that's a reflection of their coach.
And then Pooters having a chance to finish off a pretty good year. J.T. Erickson, certainly one of the top players, one of the top backs in the state, having a fantastic year rushing the football.
They have a uphill battle, but they have everything in front of them. They're number 20 in the RPI. They got Highlands Ranch and Valor, two very difficult teams. But for them to move into that top 16 RPI, they probably have to have one of those wins.
And you know what? Going into, even if you get a loss against Valor, I think you still improve.
Absolutely. Well, and Highlands Ranch. So, I mean, that's the good thing is, even if they lose two, they might be able to sneak in.
Yeah. And Coach McVicker, like I said, those kids have had a great year. They competed well, and a couple of games they'd like to have back. But, as the success they've had, Coach Bigelow in his second year with the Fossil Ridge SaberCats, they're still learning their way through a little bit. They've been in some games, just haven't finished it, though.
Went to a sophomore quarterback, and he looked okay. I talked to some of their coaches recently, and they think that they got something in the sophomore there. And you know what? It's a tough year for them. But you know what? They'll bounce back. It's just one of those years, though, Dave, that as you know in high school.
They had all those seniors last year, and that it's kind of like there's that big hole to fill with a tremendous big, not only talented but very large senior class. Now it's really easy though to slip over to the ladies competing here locally. We've got volleyball played at a very high level here locally.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, the volleyball in this city is incredible. You got Fossil Ridge is the number 5 RPI, Rocky Mountain number 8, and Fort Collins number 10. They all beat each other in conference play, and I would be shocked if one of those doesn't end up in the finals.
And you look at Collins, who's got the number 10 RPI, third here in town, but conference champs.
Yeah, exactly.
They got the belt.
That's exactly right. I'll tell you what, there's so much talent here. I think there is 4 or 5 Division I commits already in volleyball, and it just shows you how much talent is in this city in volleyball. And, of course, the boys' soccer is going on. And Fort Collins boys' soccer team, I would not be shocked if they're in the Final Four.
And then bouncing over to one more group of ladies competing here locally, the softball teams ended up here a couple weeks ago. Excellent softball teams here in town. Rocky Mountain and Fossil Ridge going to state. Fossil Ridge making the finals, having an epic game in one of those throw out the stats, throw out the everything else in a windy day. Like 20-16, they beat Eagle Crest, and then have to basically turn around right after that and play for the finals. Pretty tough to do that to a team. They came up short, but what a season.
Yeah, they have great hitting. I umpired them several times during the year. Great hitting, and they also got a little pitching at the end of the year, and that helped them out. But they come back with a lot of talent, so I wouldn't be surprised if they're back in the Final Four.
There's a program that's due. You know what? And as I think Kevin Lytle had that said there, he said they've been there often enough. And as you know, you've been around sports teams. It's like, okay, that's our plateau. It's not stopping there. We're going to take it to the next level.
Yeah, I agree. I think, they got 2 runner-ups, and I think they've been in the Final Four, like, I think, the last 4 years or last 5 years. So.
And a credit to the article you guys had in the paper here this past week, Haley Donaldson, Gatorade Player of the Year here just a few years ago, coming back to CSU now and playing for the Rams in softball and starting right out like she never left.
What a great pickup for Jen Fisher and that team. She is one of the best kids I have ever met, and she is one heck of a player. You know what? You go to a big program, it didn't work out. You know what? She comes here. I think she could really be a star for CSU.
Find a spot.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for joining me. That's Miles Blumhart from the Coloradoan. And tomorrow night's game, we'll get back to that here in a second. We're going to watch the kickoff. Miles, you want to hang in here for a few minutes?
Sure,
and,
no problem.
Dust it off, stay warm up here. We don't have to talk into that. It's a fresh night here at French Field. The tape is still blowing off the uprights in both end zones, and that flag in the north end zone is still moving. Officials have got the ball placed. Lampkins will kick off, so Monarch got a chance to kind of start this quarter off and jump their way in.
Yeah, this is going to be key. I think the defense for Fort Collins right off the bat here, a stop here would be critical.
Quick on the huddle drop, though, by the Coyotes. The 15-yard line picks it up. Doesn't have any momentum. It's going to be taken inside the 25. Drags a couple guys up to 27. So good coverage this time. We talked earlier about how the Monarch was starting near midfield, had great field position, all 3 kickoffs in the first half. You can't keep doing that.
No, eventually this defense is going to give something up if you're going to do that. You got to make Monarch drive. I go back. This is a critical series of downs for Fort Collins, and let's see what they can do here.
So Szymanski under center here, back in the flex bone, single back. Toss going left side to Polakani again. Pushing it forward. Those tight splits, that heel-to-heel line that Coach Bravo's teams show, it's hard to find those small backs. Randy and I talked about them before. You got Remmers, you got Polakani for Monarch. You don't see those guys until they're basically in the crease and the linebackers are saying, oh, there they go.
I was shooting some video down when they got to the goal line, and you can't see anybody, back there.
Same play again, trying to get the outside. Szymanski out leading the block. One thing, you're not only a dual threat as a quarterback running and passing, but you got to add the blocking.
That's old school football.
Yeah. Well, so brings up 3rd and short. Here's that spot for you as you're talking about. The Lambkins get it off the field here. Such a key, though, if they can get a 3 and out right away early, because their offense has shown that they can stay on the field. Back in the power eye. That toss ISO again, straight up the middle. First down yardage and more into the secondary, driving downfield near midfield. And that's such a tough play. I really like that play because the running back gets the ball right away, coming forward at about 6 yards, and he's following 2 running backs.
Yeah, it's pretty hard to stop them there for a loss of yardage. But you know what? The Lambkins just need to be patient here. They need to stay in on this drive and just try and get one of those third down and get off.
If you get 2 less than 3 carries in a row, it puts that offense in a bad spot, doesn't it?
Yep.
Right now, they're the clicking. Polakani out there, gain of about 13. So Monarch quickly out of the gate here in the third quarter, marching it down past midfield inside the 40-yard line of Fort Collins. And one thing about, we said that first half went quick. I mean, Iverson threw the ball effectively several times, but not that many as you would normally expect him to throw. 10:25 here in the third left. Clock running. ISO toss right. This time, though, nice job of making a pile up front.
Yeah, that's what you got to have. You got to have penetration in there, and they got it that time.
At the bottom of that pile, number 70, Andrew Van Orden. I mean, like you said, somebody's got to get below their guys. He's got to be underneath. And that time he did. So gain of only a couple here. This is where if you get this defense in 3rd and 5 or longer, you've got a real good chance of getting them off the field. Toss again. Polakani steps upfield, but nowhere to go. Nice job, Lambkins. Keep waiting for that to become a speed toss. The old Southern Cal, Nebraska kind of just get wide. I'm going to see if I can beat you to the corner and get my shoulders pointed upfield. But they keep it between the 70s, don't they?
You may see that. You may see they go outside on this one. They got about 3rd and 5, and I'm guessing this is 4-down territory for them.
Well, like you said, they're rated number 2 in the RPI, and they've got to get there. Polakani takes a shot, turns it back upfield, sees a gap, gets just a couple. Is going to bring up 4th and a fairly long 3. They got to get inside the 27-yard line. Coach Rice, about 5 yards out in the field, yelling his defense, just one more.
Good containment there by the right defensive end. He pushed that back inside, and the Lambkins were ready for it.
Switching fullbacks back into that power toss formation. Szymanski turns, tosses right, Polakani straight up field, easily past the first down yardage, spins around on his feet inside the 20, inside the 15, goes down about the 12. And if you do, when you've got all that defense within about 8 yards of the line of scrimmage, if you get a seal and you get an alley like he found there, all of a sudden you can't get through all the garbage and all the human debris just to get over to make a tackle. There's no room. There's no angles. And if you do, it's a steep one downfield, and you're chasing. Same play again. Patiently looking upfield, driving down inside the 10, near the 5. And what I like about this, they're right back on the line.
Yep, they are. That's that's why the first half went so quickly, as they get right back up on it. They're relentless.
Well, and it's the same old thing. If your technique is done so well, it's hard to stop a play that you can run over and over again. You think it's like, why can't you see that coming? But it's done well. Toss left side, straight forward again. Polakani just follows line. And right now the line is moving down. He wasn't touched, so he gained about 3 yards near the 5-yard line. And actually, the officials waving it forward to third and about a long 1.5. Need to get inside the 3 for the first and goal.
Lampkins are starting to get pushed up the middle a little bit more and more on this drive, but that's what Monarch does to you.
Same play again. Not much of a conference there to get that done. I think he got to the end zone looking for the signal from the referee, and the line judge does give it to us. Touchdown, Monarch. Brings him within 4 of the PAT pending.
The playbook isn't deep for Monarch, but it doesn't need to be deep, does it?
No. When you're running it that well, you got the players to fit it. And as we were saying, so we see Jake Leone running on the field. We had not been, since they hadn't been playing here in French Field in a while, hadn't caught up the fact he's been getting reps and back in there. So the knee is apparently sound enough to keep him busy.
Yeah, last week against Skyline, he went over 100 yards receiving, and that was great to see him back. I understand. I think he might have some surgery after the season.
Yeah, that's always those things where they say, okay, we'll keep it stable. It's your senior year. You can't hurt it worse. We know there's great. We always talk about the docs and the OCR and the volunteers they do here at French Field for all the athletes. That makes such a difference when you've got really good care. And it's like, son, you can't hurt it worse. We'll brace it up. You remember those days, and we all do as formers, whatever we were. It's like you can go out and compete if you want. You're not going to make it any worse, and you get a chance to do it. So a pretty big answer from Monarch right away. So I'm joined by Miles Blumhart here in the early third quarter at French Field. 7:32 left, so they just ran a quick 4.5 minutes off with not a pass.
No, and I don't know that you're going to see another one. You know, the only really one of the ways they can stop them is if they get one of those holding penalties and you get 10 yards, which happened in the first half, and then Fort Collins had a nice pick in the end zone that helped him too.
Kickoff now by the Coyotes. Sega deep. Going to be pulled to the left side, taken at the 15-yard line by one of the upbacks. Going to get good field position, makes the outside the 35, taken down near the 40-yard line. And Miles, as we talk about regional Northern Colorado play in 4A football, Windsor and Skyline tomorrow night, pretty much for the conference championship.
Yep, that's it. Windsor's number 5, I think, in RPI, and Skyline, which has resurrected their program, I think, the last couple years. Whoever heard of Skyline in football?
What a difference! We saw them play up here a couple years ago, and didn't know why they were still out. It was just they've credit to them. That you're exactly right. Resurrection is correct. But a big game over there. We watched Windsor last week. I did that game against Monarch here, and a tight game for about half of the game. And then Windsor, behind Lucas Watts, they just started pounding the ball and became kind of just a longevity contest. And a penalty at the end of the play puts the ball out near across midfield now for the Lampkins. So good starting position. And we'll see if they can answer.
Yeah, Collins needs to answer right here on offense. And they've got some weapons here, so let's see what they do.
Offset I formation. Iverson back again under center. More under center tonight than usual. Shore on the jet sweep, just like he started the game. Gets the corner, turns up field. Going to run out of real estate, though. It's one of those where you go about 35 yards east and west, and you get 4 yards net south and north, and not much to it.
Yeah, I think if I'm Collins, I get back into a little bit of that short passing game. They have some dangerous receivers out there, and I think that may be one way that they might continue. I don't think you're going to be able to just continually run against Monarch, but I think if they get some of those short passes going.
Well, and Monarch plays a single safety over the top, so you've got somebody open on the edges. You're sure now you've got the trips to the far side. Fake it, Remmers on the weak side trap, gets to the outside edge, cuts by one tackle. And you see coming across your screen, though, the umpire working on his fastball. That's going to be a holding call, as you would expect, I would imagine.
Yeah, he had some good blocking there, too, and it looked like he was probably going to get the first down or close to, and that's a big penalty.
Yeah, it's going to take him well back. Yeah. Comment from Randy here in the booth, too, that the Dodgers could have used the arm on that official. That was one of the better World Series games you're going to see. It's that culmination of all sports ending and everything getting going. You've got what a fall here locally and nationally. So the penalty will make it second down. Ball snapped at the 43-yard line. They need to get inside the 39 as the yard to gain on the Coyote side of the field.
This might be one of those inside screens.
Well, they've had this chance before. Now Shore's out there, gets the ball, get a turn up field. Pretty well played. Going to gain about 8-9 back, so third and less than 10. Well, and as we talked about that before, the bubble screen a couple times run fairly well, but boy, a half a step from going a long ways.
I would agree with that. I thought they might go to that. They might go to it here yet. 3rd and 8.
An impressive athlete, number 44 from Monarch, Storm. Two passes knocked down in the first quarter, the first half alone, when there's probably less than 7 passes attempted. Pretty impressive. He leads the team in 6 sacks, and the Coyotes, they've got 12 picks on the year. For defense, that's a pretty high number. 3rd and 8. Iverson rolls, comes left side here, looking for somebody downfield. He's got plenty of time, protection, floats it up in the air, and that was a footwork thing. Just didn't get himself turned. And talk about how an athlete's got to prepare for that throw.
Yeah, you got to have your hips and your shoulders pointed downfield, and they were pointed more about a 45-degree angle, but he had the receiver open for the first down.
Yeah, Shore was there, so just a little high, incomplete. They'll be punting it away. But as we always say with the Lampkins, there's no sure thing on a punt.
Yeah, with the rugby style that they do, you never know here.
Well, I thought in the the only punt they made in the first half, the rush was there. He stepped around it. He had some room. I tell you what, that was some pretty good patience not to take off. Shift by the punt block. Good snap, steps towards it. Gets it off, bounces downfield, is going to hit the 20 and keep going. Huge bounce to the Lampkins inside the 10, inside the 5. That's how you improve your average from the 47 down to the 3. So a 44-yard punt is a nice number, but where it ended up is even more important.
Yeah, right now they need either a stop and get some good field possession turn here or turnover. But right now, They need to stop the bleeding on D right here.
Yeah, just the one pick, and it was a big one in the end zone. No fumbles tonight that have been lost. So, game played very efficient as you kind of expect later in the year. Teams are clicking pretty well. There no surprises. 1st and 10 Coyotes, now ball in their 3-yard line. I don't think Szymanski's thrown the ball but more than 3 times tonight.
No, I think, you got to bring your safeties up, and you just got to play the run. If they burn you on the pass, so be it.
Toss, sweep inside, Polakani upfield, got open field now outside the 20, stepping forward near the 25. That's one of those I'm surprised he just tried to put the race on and go to the outside. He had a big angle there. He'd have gone he wouldn't have, I don't know if he'd have gone the distance. He's, you always looking as a back, where can I find the next long area to run, but he certainly had more yardage. By the way, they're out of the shadows of their own goalpost, out past the 20 to 23-yard line. Big play there. Toss again. Not much to go from there.
Really, Fort Collins can't have any more people in the box. They basically have virtually all 11 people up at the front. They're just getting beat right up the middle now.
Well, and we were talking earlier how Christensen, their big, tall, lanky receiver against Windsor, started out their game over there with 5 catches in the first quarter. They just basically Hail Marys each time. He's too big to guard. He's much bigger than anybody out there. I think Jackson Shore on the far side would be comparable size-wise, but they haven't even tried. Toss again, straight up the middle. Polakani finds a stop, goes on the outside. They got to his legs, but not until he got first down yardage. Yeah, and they're just doing it over and over again. Yep. Ball control and ball protection. You got two small linemen running in the 40s numbers back at fullback there and just falling behind his own guys. Hard to stop. Coach Bravo's team is clicking right now on offense. Again, same play, pull from behind. Got a little contact from behind the line of scrimmage, which you got to start doing. Shea Wind just swept the end, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think that's what you have to do. I think you're going to have to give yourself up there and see if you can't get some negative plays here, because once you put them in some negative plays, you have a chance.
Yeah. We were talking earlier that if you can get this offense in 3rd and 5 or greater, that's about what you want to be as a defense, because that's not comfortable yardage for them at all. A gain of just barely 3 on that first down. Same play again, maybe only 2. So here's that chance for the Lampkins. 3rd and more and 4, and The carry that time of Stimmick. He got bent backwards pretty good there at the end of the tackle.
Big down here for Fort Collins. Looks like about 3rd and 4. Monarch at their own 41. Let's see what they do here.
Back to the flex bone. Pull Connie to the near side, but you just almost want to scream toss going left side. Fullback give, though, straight up the middle. He stood up, goes nowhere, maybe a yard. Nice job on the interior for the Lampkins defense.
Yeah, Garrett McGraw was one of those in there. He's one of the leading tacklers in the area.
Very active, very active. And really embraced being more the defensive player than the running back he had been earlier this year. And I don't see Chance Szymanski's under center here, so they're going to go for it. 4th and 2. Monster play now. Toss right side, goes forward, and he did not get it. The ball's on the ground. Lampkins cover it. Either way, Miles, he did not make it. Whoever got penetration underneath there, his feet were disrupted before he got to the line of scrimmage.
Defensive lineman there got underneath the offensive lineman. Low man wins, and that's what they did there. Great play by the Lampkins.
So a turnover. Actually, it was a turnover. He wasn't called down, so not a turnover and downs, but an actual turnover. He wouldn't have got the first down, but Lampkins start. Excellent field position on the, on the Coyotes side of the field here in the third quarter. 2:38 left to play. They lead 17-14. Here's the time to take advantage of that stop by your defense and put something on the board.
See if they go to the air here.
Remembers delay on the trap upfield, gain of 8, 10, 10, and yardage for the first down are very near it. I like that play because they've got to honor the jet sweep. You got to step a little wide there, and instead of a delay, it gets that trap. It's almost kind of the old Washington Redskins counter tray. You don't try to be in a hurry. You got to get behind your linebacker, or behind your running back, and just let him flow through there.
Good patience by the running back there.
Second and very short now. Just need to get inside the 32 for the first down. Don't need to try it all here. Do you take a shot at the end zone? Give the fullback, though. Vogelser upfield easily. You know, and it's still a chilly night. I mean, it's 30-something degrees out there. So, you know, cold hands, tough ball to throw. Leather does get pretty firm. 154 left in third. So, and it's not like you've had a lot of minus plays. I don't really know, but there's been maybe just a couple of plays for loss tonight on an offensive running play. I mean, they've been stuffed, but not much of a big one. Yep. Top of your screen there, one-on-one. Iverson does roll out. He's trying to look downfield, and it's going to be, oh, boy, he kind of overread the play and threw it underneath, nearly picked off by Monarch. Fortunate one to go to the ground.
Yeah, I think he had really two guys open there. He just underthrew that one. You know what? The other option is there. He could have run for pretty good yardage there too.
Yeah.
I like that play call on that first down.
Well, I agree there too, because they've made them honor that run up the middle. So back under center though, motion near side. Remmers on the second give goes forward, but again we see the handkerchief hit the floor, hit the field, about the 25-yard line. We got a poke. I was wondering why one of the Monarch coaches is way out on the field. He had to come out and get Storm, who apparently did not want to leave the field. Got to like that, but still, you know, the safety first thing there. The coach is, I'm going to come out here and if I haul you off, you're going off. Oh, personal foul, face mask against Coyotes. So instead of the holding call moving him back, takes the Lampkins downfield and past first down yardage.
Well, that's a big penalty. They otherwise you were looking at second and probably 15.
Mm-hmm. Now the ball down just outside the 10-yard line. So the call after the penalty, I say first and 10 Lampkins, 1:25 left here in the third. They lead by 3, looking to go and add to that. Low snap. Iverson pulls it down after the fake pump, just heads up field. Not so sure that wasn't one of his options to be able to do that, actually, on that play call. it's the old RPO, the run pass option. You can do it now also as a toss back and on the option play versus the ride and then throw. But he looked out, saw the linebacker dropping out into the hook zone where he was looking for that receiver. And to be able to run that as a sophomore, I mean, probably not since your days would an athlete be able to get away with that. But
thanks, Dave.
Yep. Yeah, sure. Leather helmets. Boy, falling down. Vogelsher up the middle, goes through the goal line. Iverson, I think he got his foot stepped on, and he's falling backwards. Still is able to put it in Vogelsher's belly. He hit it upfield inside the 5. And they're going to try to snap the ball really quick here, but I got the line judge stopping play. 26 seconds left here in the quarter. I'm not sure what the huge hurry was.
That's right now. Fort Collins is giving Monarch a little taste of their own medicine. They're going right up the gut, and they're finding a really good push by the offensive line for the Lambkins.
So no timeout called. Trying to get the clock set correctly. All right, we've got it set. 31 seconds. They added 5 seconds back onto the clock. So 1st and goal, that's why, because actually they were able to get the first down. That's why the clock was stopped. Iverson under center, offset I formation. Reimer is back in the I. Sneak by Iverson, and he is well into the end zone. Great surge, as you said, Miles, following that surge from Piotrowski, his big center, deep into the end zone, and a big touchdown to answer the Monarch turnover on downs. Puts them back up 23-14. Good chance to make it a 10-point lead and a 2-point score for the game.
That was a big drive by the offense for the Lambkins. They were very patient on that drive, too. They had a few passes, and they were open but didn't complete them, but they just stayed patient, and it paid off for them.
PAT here, nice snap, good hold. Kick is up, and it is good. So the Lambkins back up, and I'd like to report one of our favorite Lambkins 5A boys soccer update. Lambkins up 5-0 over Gateway at half, thanks to Eric Sampson, the info central for everything Lambkins athletics. We got 17 seconds left here in this third quarter. I'd like to thank Miles Blumhart for joining us here. And Colorado in sports, so you guys, a busy time of year as all these fall sports are wrapping up.
Yeah, it's a good time of the year, both for the preps and obviously CSU doing well.
Yep.
CSU defense is going to see not the same kind of offense from Air Force, but they're going to see a lot of rushing and a lot of different.
And local players, Max McDonald's been starting at linebacker for the Rams for the last 3 weeks. Got hurt down in New Mexico. Don't know what his status is for this weekend. Hope to see him out there. But having a very good sophomore season as a starting linebacker.
Yeah, and they're going to need him tomorrow. He's going through the concussion protocol. And from what I understand, he might be able to play tomorrow, and he would be very important. They lost Jamal Hicks, which is a big one, to a broken arm, and Hicks played really well against Air Force last year. But CSU is going to, I think they're going to be able to score plenty. Will they be able to stop Air Force?
Yeah. Well, as we've talked about here so many times, we saw Max playing here for the Lobos, a tough man to keep off the field. So a squib kick downfield goes. Stemick breaks a couple tackles outside, gets near the 35-yard line to be 1st and 10 for the Coyotes. And that didn't quite run the quarter out. 7 seconds left. Like I say, the big answer by the Lambkins there. We'll get to see one more play here. And do you scratch that itch if you're for Monarch and all of a sudden want to take it downfield and just try one before half? I mean, somewhere along the way, they need 2 scores. And if the Lambkins offense comes out and has another drive, he's 4 or 5 minutes up, and scores, the game's going to be over.
I tell you what, if I'm Fort Collins, I want them to do that. I really want them to get out of that rhythm. I want them to get out of what they're doing because they're doing it well.
Give the fullback up the middle, pushing forward, going to gain about 4. That will do it here for the third quarter as time runs out. So Lampkins, after 3 quarters here at French Field, you're watching Streaming Sports. They lead 24-14 over the visiting Monarch Coyotes. Big game in conference play here for the Lampkins. Once again, thanks to Miles Blumhart joining us here for this 3rd quarter. Randy will join me for the 4th, and we'll be back on the air again tomorrow night in 2 games, as we talked about earlier, Miles. The Skyline and Windsor game across the interstate, a big one in 4A. And Rocky Mountain here hosting tomorrow night. Lots going on in Streaming Sports.
Thanks much for having me. I appreciate it. And have a good call, Randy, on that 4th quarter. We'll see if the Lampkins can't pull out a win.
If this is how your bank sees the world, how do they see you? Be an individual at First Bank. Banking for good.
So we're back here, get ready to start the 4th quarter, 24-14. Fort Collins Lampkins, surprisingly, over the Monarch Coyotes. And Dave, this is a pretty major upset in the making here if they can hang on to this game.
Well, and it's time for the Lampkins. We know they got the ability. They just need to show they can finish a game. 2nd down play there.
And they've had leads, as we've talked about, really all year.
They've gotten out there, but it's 4 quarters, and here's their chance to prove it, especially against one of the top-rated foes in 4A this year. So the toss that time to Polakani on the left sweep goes for just a couple, brings up 3rd and 4 again, just where they had him last time. ISO toss up the middle. They get to Polakani's legs right away. He didn't get in anything.
It's just amazing how many times in a row they run the exact same play.
Yep. And looks like this time, Coach Bravo, he doesn't look like he wants to send one down there with the chance. Saw some of the individuals making their plays back in there. Aaron Van Meter, number 24, a couple other guys say they're getting behind that play. If you can't go to the middle, you run around the edge because there's not much to go there. And they get back to that running back's legs, nowhere to go. Christensen back to kick. Short man in receiving position. End over end is going to drop out the 23, 24-yard line and roll inside the 20. Nice bounce for Monarch. So kicks going into that direction, Randy, have worked out well for the punting team, but it's going to be 1st and 10 Lampkins after the stop. And now we got a late flag. Play was over, so somebody was making a comment while they're walking.
Somebody editorializing, or?
I think you might be right. The umpire, actually had been the back judge. Sportsmanlike conduct's going to be called on the Lampkins. I didn't see anybody do anything. Not sure what it was. Certainly wasn't contact. But a really poor time to have it happen. You're going to go half the distance to the goal line. So after a decent punt with a very good roll and the personal foul on top of it, takes it back to the 6-yard line. Lampkins 94 yards from the other end zone, but you just don't need to have that happen.
And look at there, the wind is basically all but stopped.
Yeah, we've really seen the wind. That's what I'm talking about. It's going to get really cold tonight. The wind's going to go away, and the cold air is going to just fill in here. 10:50 left in the game here. Lampkins lead by 10, but deep in their own territory. And tell you what.
Good 6 yards out of bounds on the tackle.
Yeah, a pretty gutsy call to run the jet sweep, and Joey McGuire tried to come around the corner. Lost 2 yards. That's a pretty slow developing play. I guess they're trying to think Monarch might be stepping up, try to catch them out of position, but that certainly didn't work.
Well, and again, we've talked about this for years. Can you play with a lead? Sometimes it's easier to make a comeback than it is to play with the lead.
Yeah, you keep your edge. Remmers delay handoff left side, good yardage out past the 10. And this is one of those calls now here, Randy. It's like, you got a 10-point lead. If you run the ball again here, that's a tough pickup, 3rd and 6. But you keep the clock running. It's 10:25. If you took 30 seconds off, that's the kind of time that runs off now that maybe pays dividends, later in this quarter. This game's going to get short here pretty soon, especially we know Monarch doesn't like to put it in the air. So spread formation, back in the shotgun formation, probably for only about the fourth or fifth time tonight, as Iverson looks to throw, fires here to the outside, he's got Leone, and it's dropped. Boy, he had first down there too.
Well, that's exactly what they want to do. Safe pass to your guy with some of the best hands in the state, and he
just happened. I think the ball looked a little short, and Leone sat down for it, but I'm sure as the athlete we know he is and the receiver we know he is, he wanted to get under that one. It didn't happen. So the Lampkins are going to be punting now, and they'll be kicking out of their own. Spencer Purnell is going to be, his feet are going to be in the end zone when he gets the snap. Monarch's been close on a couple of punts too. High snap. Purnell looks around. He gets it off in a boomer out to midfield and caught over the shoulder.
Boy,
That's a pretty dangerous catch.
Dangerous.
Yeah, and a very good one because number 80 for the Coyotes, Randy, turned and caught that going over his shoulder. That's the kind of stuff that's like, that was Brendan Christensen. That was something else. You want to catch it because the ball hits the ground the way that was carrying that ball, it probably could have rolled another 15, 20 yards. But as it is, he made the play. Good for him. Good for the Coyotes. Ball at the 49-yard line, 1st and 10 on their side of the field. So the Lampkins have a 2-score lead, 9:53 to play. Five-man list. First down throw coming. And just a great solid tackle out in the open. The pass delivered is on time, and it was out there.
But a dangerous pass in its own right because for a team that doesn't pass a lot, that's all about timing. And the timing wasn't great, and which is why it was basically no gain.
Yeah, it was a little slow getting developed there. And number 87, I'd love to give him the credit for the catch and the DB was looking back, but did the offensive receiver.
That looked like offensive pass interference.
Yeah, and that's the way the line judge is kind of pointing on the far side. But it looks like they're marking the ball.
I mean, there's a reason he got open when they were to.
Conversation coming now. Referee's got the call from the. Well, it's going to be against Fort Collins. Yeah, it's a pass interference. So we saw the end of it, that's for sure, and we were trying to figure out why there's such separation, but it happened. I'd love to give that young man credit. Number 87 doesn't show up on any of my statistics.
And
so
offensive pass interference is not something you see high school officials call very often. So you don't see it anywhere very often, but especially in high school, I can't remember.
So the big completion there, because the ball was caught, takes it downside the 20, gain of just a short half yard on first down on the run.
Fort Collins had a great opportunity to pick that ball off, though.
Yeah, he really did.
It was a lame duck throw.
Yeah, and Szymanski, like I said, he just threw to a bigger receiver. As we talked about, they did that a lot against Windsor. Throw the jump ball let your athlete make the play. Fullback gives straight up the middle. Gain of about 4 or 5, maybe just downside the 15-yard line. So it's still going to be 3rd and about 7. Now, Randy, this is those times where you could kick the field goal if you stall out here and don't get a good play because you got to get points.
Yeah.
The clock is running. It's 8:05. It's going to be 8 minutes to play by the time you snap it. Wide side field. Connie in motion. Stops, goes back and resets. And didn't get the jump. They thought they might draw Fort Collins on there, so they're going to take a timeout on the field. We will too. 24-14, 7:54 left here at French Field. You're watching Streaming Sports.
Wayne, everyone knows by now that Schrader's Country Stores have the best car washes around. They don't need to see you standing in the car wash explaining the undercarriage wash, the rocker panel spray, the protective finish application, and the jet dryer. No, Wayne, all you have to do is see the beautiful shine on my nice clean car. No muss, No fuss, and I'm certainly not all wet.
You won't get soaked at Schrader Country Store car washes, just shiny clean.
Back here now, 24-14 our score. Fort Collins Lampkins over the Monarch Coyotes, and in what would be considered in this state a pretty major upset if this stands. Monarch in the top 5 in the RPI.
So 3rd and 7 now. Back in the full I formation. Toss plays expected. This time Policani does go to the outside, tries to get the edge. It's going to be short of the first down yardage, but brings up 4th and very short. Like we talked about that earlier with Miles on the call in the 3rd quarter, Randy, who was waiting for that just to become a speed run. And Policani again close to first down yardage. Did go out of bounds, so that did stop the clock alertly there. Nice play.
It's a big play. You know, Monarch's kind of nonchalantly going up there, but it's a big play.
Toss again. Policani straight forward. First down inside the 5-yard line. Goal to go now for Coyotes. Nice job out here tonight by the Purple Regiment Band. Nice job at halftime honoring their seniors. We got to get them all on camera. Look that up when you're watching Streaming Sports again. Applaud those cheerleaders and the baton twirler down there. Those girls are working hard to keep warm. Toss play again. Policani surges towards the end zone, and he makes it. So they drive down, answer, bring it back to a single-score game. PAT pending if they make it, makes it just a field goal. 7:33 left, Randy. It's one of those, okay, we've got to drive the ball for a ways at least.
Well, as I was saying, number 6 is literally like a robot. I mean, it's literally robotic in what they do.
Well, repetition brings perfection. Kick is up by Lamphere and good. So back to a 3-point game. Coyotes answer. We'll see if the Lampkins can do something to stretch that out or hold the clock and keep their lead. 7.5 minutes to play in the game.
You know, somebody they have not even really looked to is Abby Asaga, and he can be a game changer. He's the one guy who's got, you know, that breakaway speed that can either get separation or you know, on the jet sweep or something, or even on this kickoff return, really.
Well, they need to make a play there too. They need the position just to start the drive off. You want to make sure you're out there. You know, there's been very few punts here tonight. Both punters have had balls that have hit and rolled for great position. But after, as well as that drive was there, you know, aided by the long pass, that could have been a sack, it could have been an interception. But for Monarch, it worked out just perfectly and got them down in position to score.
Last game we had, we saw Asaga run 95 yards on a kickoff return. So we'll see if they have the desire to even kick it his way.
Well, the last couple Lamphere has sent downfield, you know, have been squib kicks, not really high. It's a cold night, tough to kick a football when it's that rock hard and cold. And this is just going to be a pooch kick and taken at the 38-yard line. Tackle pretty much right away. So,
gutsy by the up back there.
Well, if you can't kick it out, if you can't kick it through the end zone for the touchback, you got to go get that ball. He made the right play. It's more surprising that he didn't have a fair catch called.
Well, he had stars in his eyes. He wanted to run that thing back. That's what I was saying. I'm surprised he didn't just go down.
So big drive here for the Lampkins. Chance to pull off the upset. Kind of put that crown on the year as far as your victory. Shore in motion, far side fake. Give it to Remmers on the delayed trap play. Straightforward gain of about 4 over the 40 up to the 41-yard line. Now, you want to keep your rhythm going, but you don't need to be in a hurry now, do you?
No, you don't. And, you know, this is all you can ask for if you're a coach or a team. You got everything in front of you. You can control what happens in this game right now. And you can't really ask for any more than that when you're leading by 3. If you're able to stay on the field and, you know, get a touchdown, you probably can win
Salt
this
the game away. Vogelser on the fullback give, bounced off a couple, but he's met by Storm and others. Tell you what, the whistles are letting him play quite a lot longer there. He gained just maybe a yard or so.
But they were letting him play when he was 5 yards back behind where he went down.
So a real big play here. Now, do you run the ball, keep the clock running? You're down to 6.5 to play.
Well, I think it's kind of like the old basketball thing. Do you stop doing
playing
the thing
hard?
that got you? And they almost look like they are. So
rollout play, though. I like this call. You got to get underneath in there. Throwback pass out there. You see Leone going forward. The senior gets first down yardage and some. You know, that's not the athlete we expected to see this year. He is taking that knee and taking care of it, Randy. But a clutch play and run and a great play call. Great play call.
He's about 80%, I'd say, on his speed and quickness. But, hey, I mean, when earlier we didn't think he'd even be back. So, and to my knowledge, I don't even think he's wearing a bray. I'm sure he's wearing something, but that's a great call.
Yeah, it really was. Caught the defense over shifting. 1st and 10, 47-yard line of Monarch. Blitz coming from Monarch. They're showing it. Iverson steps up. He's got to throw the ball pretty much away. The blitz came right into his face as he rolled out, and that rollout is really a shallow one. He doesn't get much depth there, so the defender is in his face right away.
What I don't like about that is it stops the clock.
Yes.
And 5:39 left now. You know, you get 2 more first downs, and you've got the Coyotes nervous.
Well, and that's one of those maybe a little later. It's like, okay, I thought I had the guy, saw people out there, but you turn it up and run. And that just comes from a tremendous amount of experience. Iverson's had a very good year. I think a very good young quarterback, makes a lot of good decisions. But that's one where if he'd have turned it upfield, could have got a few yards, would have ran another 30 seconds off the clock. We got a busted play here. So 2 plays in a row with no good results. Going to bring up 3rd and 10. And right now, find the Lampkins. You really got to run the ball. I mean, there's 5:17. Clock is ticking. Back judge. I mean, you're going to take your time, get up the line of scrimmage, make sure you snap it, obviously, in time. But you'd like to have that clock down as close. 5:04. First down would be great here, but running the clock and running the ball and giving yourself a chance to punt it downfield. Clock was going. He's going to be sacked. Great call by Coach Bravo and his staff. Come right up the middle. They were going to set up the screenplay, Randy, and he had no chance. Just shot the gap, but there's no chance. So it'll be 4th down now for the Lampkins. They're going to have to punt.
It'll be up to the defense now to stop this running game.
Yep. You know, it's not a bad position to punt from. It's not like you're so far, back and you just want to get it down inside the 20. They'd like to make sure they keep them inside the 20 here. Good snap. Easy rush. Ball kicked to the right side. Nice kick. Fair catch called inside by Christensen on his 14-yard line. So a 3-point lead, 4:24 to play here. This is why you come to play when you get to be a high school athlete, don't you? You want to be in the games where you make a chance to seal the game and make your high school proud.
Well,
games you talk about for years.
I think, if you're Monarch, you're feeling pretty good right now because 4:24 really leaves you the amount of time to kind of stay in your own rhythm. You don't really have to come out here now and get outside of who you are. They've been able to run up and down the field pretty well.
They did use their one timeout, but if you can make them, like say, if they have to run the ball all the way down there, they got 86 yards to go. Toss sweeps, Stimmick to the right side, bounces off one tackler, goes backwards.
That's a good start, though.
Yeah, he goes backwards there. They did a nice job of stacking it up, and he lost maybe a yard. They'll be snapping, and they're trying to get up the line of scrimmage again, but...
well, and here you go. They're now running plays that are not part of their normal.
Yeah.
And so you don't see them jumping up on the line here. And here comes the wind again.
Yeah, the wind's coming up, and actually we're going to get a timeout taken. I'm trying to see who took it, but either way, timeout here at French Field with a 3-point lead for the Lampkins. Actually, we got a player down, and we got an injury timeout. Looks like more like a cramp. That's Christensen, the receiver, too, Randy. So timeout here in the field. We'll go to a commercial, and we'll be back for the rest of this game here at French Field. You're watching Stream It Sports.
If this is how your bank sees the world, how do they see you? Be an individual at First Bank. Banking for good.
We're back here. Officials got both teams off the sidelines really quickly. Sorry about that.
It's nice to know that it's exactly the same amount of time for every timeout, isn't it?
They rolled left. Szymanski rolled left there and kind of had to awkwardly put one up. Tried to hit Christensen as he's rolling out there. Overthrew him out of bounds and incomplete. And 3:48 to play. Brings up 3rd and 10, Randy. You almost got to think that they could punt it away if they had to here and try to get a stop and use their timeouts. That's if you don't get like 5 or better on this one, that's when this offense becomes something. It's a
well, this is how you beat Monarch. If you're going to beat them, and they haven't beat them yet.
No.
But
Stimick motion right side. Give the fullback. He drags around a couple people there, gets off a couple tackles, gains about 3 or 4. Nice job of getting to the ball. Tried to catch the Lampkins napping with the motion going to the outside.
So what we'll see here is Coach Bravo willing to do or die, and he's not.
Punt team, and I completely agree. You got to kick it down there, give your defense a chance. Hopefully you hope you trade field position on a 3 and out, and you gain about 25 yards or so. And we got another player down on the field. We'll stay here because it looks like another cramp or an ankle. Like I say, the last time we had that, the officials got him going. It does look to be a cramp. I think it's Christensen again. That's his second time in about 4 plays. Giving it all he's got, and you think about it, you always think cramps when it's really hot. Well, that does happen because you're sweating. But on cold, dry nights like this,
it is dry.
It goes away. Dry. Yeah, it goes away really fast. Actually, it's not Christensen. It's number 48. Yeah, Max Lachek, and he's up going. But boy, that's just a feeling. You just know what it is, and there's not much you can do about it either, is there?
No, and so Monarchs really got to make sure that they execute this play. You think a punt play is no big deal, but most of these teams that are 7-1 haven't punted a lot this year.
Yeah. Cole back to punt. High snap, takes it in though, gets the punt off. Good end over ender about midfield, but goes away. Takes a really nice bounce. Kalen Moore just kind of let it go.
Boy, that was returnable, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it
but I understand why he didn't.
Yeah, it went. I think it went away from him so quick. He didn't want to chase it down. You can't fumble a bunt. You don't catch or try to go get. So it took just a dead bounce. So the Lampkins are going to take over at their own 44-yard line with 3:06 left to play. It's a 2 first down kind of game, isn't it?
Yeah, is that where it landed?
Just about right on the nose. I mean, it just spun like a nice tight wedge shot that you see on Sunday.
I thought it was about the 46. So.
Not our spots here, but 3:06 to play, 3-point lead.
And really,
you're in control.
One timeout or one first down.
Yeah, pretty quickly here. If you get 1 first down, you're running the ball. If you're the Lampkins, that'll force Monarch to use their timeouts. And boy, I tell you what, they've had issues running the plays. Now all of a sudden the play breakdown is happening.
Well, because Monarch knows that they're going to run.
They're bringing everybody there, but you've got to run your play correctly, though. That's the third out of probably like the 5th or 6th play where the quarterback and running back bounce into each other.
Well, they're not. It's not a straight handoff. They're kind of juking one way and coming the other way, but it's like their spacing isn't right where they're juking.
Yeah, it's we've seen it run a dozen times a night, but either way they lost 3 yards. Clock is running though, 2:29 to play. Backfield judge already has his arm up. He's about to start his count. Iverson's looking for him. Now he takes it under center, gets the snap. Remmers give this time off the side, breaks it upfield, big gain of about 7. And this time Monarch will take a timeout. He'll have 1 remaining. I think that's a pretty good time to do it, Randy. It's 2:13 left, and you'd get you had 1 more play and a run go. You'd have had a chance to really run out of time. So 2:13 left. You're watching Streaming Sports. We'll be right back.
This life, it isn't for everyone. It's not for the modest, the cautious, the faint of heart. It's for the dauntless, the determined. This life, it isn't just a craft or another career. It's a calling.
Right now, get 0% APR for 60 months on a new 2017 Toyota Tundra, or get $1,750 cash back.
Toyota, let's go places.
So we're back here, 24-21, 2:13 left. Huge game here with major RPI ramifications for Monarch. And Lampkin's getting one more first down. It's going to make it pretty tough for Monarch to.
Well, I expect to see a blitz call here coming too. I mean, they've got to bring everybody. They know they're going to run it. You want to keep it on the ground because they make them either use the timeout or run off 35 seconds. McGuire in motion back again the other side. Fullback gives straight to the middle. Focus has got first down yardage. Stem just puts your shoulders down and run down to the ground, isn't it?
And how many times have we seen that?
Yep. What a call.
The over pursuing, trying to stop something, but if you get through the first layer.
Yep.
And they're fortunate he didn't take that all the way to the house.
Yeah, second level. He got past the first down yardage, and he knew he did a great job of covering that ball. You young running backs, you know when you got to take care of the ball. He had two hands on it, both points covered in, and kept his shoulders down low. Monster first down conversion.
So now you got to hang on to the ball. That's the
41-yard line. And, I'm surprised the linebackers for Monarch are that deep. Still playing it honest. McGuire on the jet sweep turns upfield. Gain about 5 or 6. And we're going to have the last timeout taken by Monarch. They'll use their last one with 1:36 left to play, but now you're just hoping for a monster turnover. You're hoping for a fumble.
Yeah. You got a minute 36 and it's second down, so I don't know what the math is here.
Well, and if you're right now, you're Collins, you're certainly not going to punt. You can run the ball 3 more times here, and it'd have to be a turnover and downs to stop the clock. You get it down certainly under 40 seconds after a couple more plays. I would.
The best thing to do is just get another first down, and we can all go home.
Slow developing plays, running to the side, but something with good ball security. Roll out by your quarterback, telling him you're not going to throw it, you're just going to turn it upfield. And if you go down, just go down. That's fine. Stay in bounds. All those things that they're kind of counterintuitive because the athlete's trying to make a play. But
I like the fullback quick hitter.
Well, Monarch are still playing their linebackers at a pretty good depth there. It's one of those where you almost expect them to start blitzing the gaps, making a play, stopping the play as quick as you can. So kind of offset I formation again. Iverson under center. Tight right. Give. Remmers goes around the right side, gets by the linebackers in the secondary. First down yardage and some inside down the 22. That's going to be the ball game.
Victory formation now.
Yeah, you've down the play didn't take that long. They're going to set the sticks here, Randy, as you hear the crowd, the band, and everybody here on their feet on this side of the field, knowing that they're going to have a marquee win here for this year, aren't they?
Yeah, this is, and when you're a coach, you go back to this and say, guys, this is what we could have done on 2 or 3 other games.
Minute 11 here. They're going to turn around and basically everybody's going to surround Iverson. He's not going to snap it until he sees the back judge start turning, and he does. Snap, goes down on one knee. And that's at 1 minute even left in the game. And you know what? I mean, a well-played game tonight against a very good foe. Monarch Coyotes, you talked about the number 2 in the RPI strength of schedule. They did lose to Windsor last week for their first loss. So this is back-to-back losses coming north for Monarch.
That's 2 weeks ago, actually.
Yeah, right. Time flies, doesn't it?
Yeah, but they were both up here.
And that'll do it. 30 seconds left in the game, but that last snap will do it. They don't have to do it and snap it one more time. And a great job here tonight.
What a marquee win. That is just, we've seen the offense all year, but this is one of the best offensive games we've seen at French Field this year. I mean, as far as just the play calling, execution,
Well, there's the one interception by Fort Collins down the end zone to stymie the drive early in the game. There was kind of a meaningless fumble by Monarch later because they didn't have the 4th down yardage to gain. So either way, Collins played a really good game. Monarch didn't play badly. They're just outplayed, and this time Collins played 4 quarters football.
Yeah, they played 4 quarters, and they kept the lead the whole game. And, Monarch, when it got late, they don't have an answer for those games typically. If they don't break, I think the best thing is they were able to keep number 6 from breaking along with so many times he almost did. But somebody, a safety or somebody, was able to stop him. So anyway, huge win and great game. Hopefully we'll be able to go back and watch this again on Facebook or on Stream It Sports. So anyway, Fort Collins 24. And the Coyotes from Monarch 21. You see right there, they're going to Cedar fans. So for Brian Roxbury, Randy McCoy, David Haas, we'll see you tomorrow night, Rangeview, Rocky Mountain, and also on Streaming Sports, Windsor and Skyline. We'll see you next time.
Poudre School District High School Football, live on Stream It Sports, Northern Colorado, has been brought to you by Schrader Oil. Fuel your day. By Pedersen Toyota in Fort Collins. Everything cars made easy. And by First Bank. Visit any of our convenient locations in Northern Colorado. First Bank, banking for good.